As we stay interested in going to bed or wake up yawning, go ahead and listen in. Even all day long, they still be watching on their computers and their phones. They stay locked in. It's that Bilingual Podcast, where we talking with Big Mo and Platinum Cash.
Hey, I was gonna have an accent, but I decided to keep it to myself. Hey, thank y'all for tuning into the Guy Legal Podcast with your host Big Mo, and me, Platinum Cash. We got another packed show for you guys tonight on this February 22nd, 2026. You know actually what I wrote? Better luck next year.
I
Better
saw
luck
that.
next year was the
I,
title
I
of
saw that.
the show. We are scheduled for about an hour and a half tonight, so let's get right into it. Big Mo, how was your week? We're supposed to have a special guest on here. Mike's supposed to be on here sometime. I don't know where he is at. I don't know what atmosphere, what stratosphere he went to out of the email we sent over to him. But when he figures it out, he may be on the show today. But Big Mo, until then,
Hey,
what's your week?
hey, I think we struggle with certain people trying to use technology. So hopefully he's able to join us. Oh man, the week was good. Hey, look, hey, he was able to join us.
The big Chiefs fan himself. Good
Oh
morning.
man, he was able to join us. Look at him. Hey, welcome. The week was good, man.
We can't hear you,
We
Mike. No.
can't hear you, Mike. That's all I can say. The week was good. I won't give a full recap of the week, but I can tell you it was good, right? Like my mom was feeling better, chat. So she felt normal this week, felt she wanted to go back to work, and then all of a sudden went and took a nap, and then came back and said, "I don't think I'm ready to go back to work." So it was good though. It was a good week, man. I can't complain.
Mike, can you talk yet? Nope, still can't hear
Nope,
you.
nope, we can't hear you, Mike. You're gonna have to check your
Technical
audio,
difficulties.
buddy.
Yeah.
It's okay. Take your time. The chat can't hear you. How was your week? We're gonna keep going until we can hear you.
That's all right, Mike, because by the time you figure it out, I'll be done with my paragraphs.
What you got going on? How was your week, bro?
Uh, it was an interesting week. Actually, I'm excited. My team got a dub.
Y-
We got a dub this week, so that was a good thing. Shout out to the JV squad for getting a dub. It was a fun week. Actually, both games were good games. Varsity as well had a chance to pull it out in overtime, lost by two. So
you know what?
I see some building blocks, things growing, some
Yeah,
roots being planted. So that's a positive.
I'm assuming that's why your theme "Better Luck Next Year" popped up in
That
your
is
head.
it because it's in season, man. We're about to hit March, and
You
a
know,
lot of teams ain't going to
yeah,
playoffs, and we're one of them. So it's a better luck next year type of deal.
yeah. We got
Um,
our
yeah, we
yeah,
got two games, two practices left. We got our banquet coming up.
yeah.
It was a crazy season so far. You know, we had to deal with a lot of different things. I mean, changing over from coaching, new cultures, new kids, injuries, sickness,
Yeah.
kids quitting, sabotaging, different stuff. A lot of different stuff happened in this year. I mean, just crazy year, crazy season, but it went by fast. It went by fast, and I was thinking about this, and I was like, man, why did it go by so fast? Then I realized I spent out of 3 years of driving to St. Helens, literally 3 months of driving in 3 years. 3 months of driving back and forth. 3 months if you added all the time together. That's why, because I'm usually spending 2 hours in traffic before I even get home. And then by
Yeah.
the time I'm home, it's another 2 hours just to, calm down. And then boom, I'm going to bed at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning.
Well, yeah. I do think the commute from where we live to St. Helens, which was our previous school, was so much more longer, right? But it also allowed me to think a
Yeah.
lot more, and be by myself, right? Because hour there, hour back, you ain't got no choice but to think about everything that's going wrong, what's going good. It was so funny because that used to be my time to think, and then all of a sudden, my wife would tell people if you want to talk to him, call him between this time and this time because he's gonna be in the car.
Yeah.
So he ain't got no choice but to answer the phone. So all of a sudden, I just started talking to different people that I don't get to talk to often. This year, we showed up a lot way early. I know for me, just being 15 minutes away or 10 minutes away, depending on traffic, like I would get there super early. and then I would leave super late for games because I'm, between media and everything else you got to do after a game. By the time I get home, I just you don't have time to like process stuff, right? And like I was telling you Friday night, I came home, and what was so crazy about Friday, I'm gonna tell you guys how exhausted I was. I came in my man cave, I sat down. I think I may have played the video game with Mike for probably 30 minutes. I turned on the game to watch film, and I passed out. I woke up the next morning with my shoes on, my dress pants on, my tie on, my shirt on. I didn't even make it to bed. I was that tired, right? And my wife was just like, I know you was tired because usually you wake up in the middle of the night. You didn't wake up. So
Yeah.
so yeah, no, I woke up the next morning. It was like 6:30 with everything still on. So I had to go shower. So it was, yeah. So I think I'm just exhausted, like mentally.
Yeah.
And I,
No,
I gotta
I
mentally
agree.
reset
I agree.
myself.
It's been like that, especially with
Yeah.
the way that the season has gone. Like I was saying,
Hmm.
it has been a draining one, but it's also
Yeah.
been a learning and a teaching
Hmm.
one too. So
Hmm.
not everything is all roses, and so there's always some good out of the bad that you got to learn out of it. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be a
I,
good uh, base for
mhm.
what we got building here for the next years to come. So
Yeah, yeah, and there's been positive moments, I think a lot of the exit interviews that we've had this week. When I talk about it, I don't want to do much, but I think a lot of the exit interviews and things we've had this week has been very consistent. Pretty good feedback, pretty good, thought process in the kids and stuff. And I think if I just sum it up, it just sounds like when I've spoken with the majority of my program so far, I still got more to go. It's been an all good, positive experience for them, a learning experience, which is awesome. So anytime you can hear that from kids, that's kind of all you can ask for as a coach. And as I sit back and I think about it, and obviously I got to talk at the banquet, and everybody knows I'm not a big talker. I can look at my entire program and say every kid in my program got better,
yeah,
right? Whether it's them becoming a better kid, better athlete, better shooter, better rebounder, better defender, better offensive player. It doesn't matter what
if,
um
if not
it is,
anything,
they all
if,
got better.
if not anything, they had to become more disciplined, right?
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah,
they weren't doing any of that stuff last year at all.
yeah.
Right? Showing up, they first of all showing up to practice 30 to 15 minutes early. What?
Mhm.
Why?
Yeah,
Practice
yeah. That
starts at
takes
6:15. I'll be there at 6:13.
yeah, that take a commitment. So
Right?
it was
So that
good,
small
man.
stuff it started. You could see, at first no one wanted to honor that really, but
Hmm.
then they said, "Oh wait, there's consequences." So
Yeah, yeah.
and to hear them actually say, "Hey, we like that accountability,"
I
especially
thought
with
that was great. I thought it was really good hearing that from the younger kids. That was like, I like how you hold us accountable. That was pretty awesome to really hear. Because some kids would be like, I hate it, but I think I heard a lot of kids say that they actually liked it.
yeah. What else my week was? Okay. Oh shoot, man, I've been having to build shit. Excuse my language. Stuff for the last 2 days. You okay? First of all, it's for my daughter's room, right?
Okay.
So my wife and her decided I was not included in this conversation. They decided that they were going to go ahead and redo her bedroom for her
Okay.
birthday.
Okay.
Okay, so her birthday is in June.
Okay.
We are in February.
Okay.
Now, ask me why I'm redoing a whole bedroom for her birthday in February. That the birthday is actually in June. Yeah, don't make sense. But here I am doing it and building this stuff. And shout out to her cousin's husband for coming through and painting. That was much appreciated because he wouldn't bust that out way faster than I ever would have started to do. So he got that done. That was great. So I was down here building all this stuff in my man cave. But I know she probably in the text and saying something like, "Well, you're doing it because you got a plane ticket." Well, that's basically to shut me up.
She has not said nothing
I'm
yet, but
pretty sure
okay.
that's what he said. It was like he said, "Well, you got a plane ticket to Vegas out of it, so I wouldn't be talking." Well, yeah,
So, so what you're saying is you're working off your Vegas trip right now. Is
that's
what you're
pretty much
essentially
that's pretty much it. But My manual
Oh
labor when he
man.
went to work building these.
Nah,
No, but here's a question. These ain't just normal. This ain't just your normal desk. This ain't your normal
yeah,
nightstand. This is
yeah,
like 2026 version of your nightstand. So it's
yeah.
got lights and all this stuff in it. I'm like, man. Normally it's just a normal. Like you go to IKEA, it's like 10 different screws and it's done. This thing had, and I still got the biggest piece left. I still ain't even made it to the vanity. She got, yeah, this girl got newer furniture than I got.
You
By the
know
way,
what though? But me
Mike, are you
personally,
here now?
he looks so angry.
You look
Just
confused.
look at him. Technology's not his strong suit.
Mike, we should have did a test run.
So Mike, where it says audio, you have to tell it what output you want your audio in when you have multiple things connected. So you have to tell it whether it's your computer. No, on your computer, Mike. So, but yeah, I think the weeks are getting better. I think for me, I think the last couple weeks I've been overly not sleeping as much because there's so much that goes on in a coach's mind, right? Like, take away my doggone real job, but I'm sitting here thinking, what is my off season looking like, right? I'm sitting here thinking, what, what am I gonna do to see that we're better? Not necessarily in 3 months or 6 months or 7 months, but how can we get better in the next week or two, right? And platinum, the chat is currently saying that they like your hair,
I know. My
just
daughter says
FYI.
so. My daughter says she loves it. I said,
So,
oh, hey.
only thing you
Hey,
need
we
is
might
to
step out together with hair pieces on tonight, one of these nights, babe.
Yeah, so I just
I'm
think
trying
it's
to get
one of
my
those
J.
things.
Cole inspiration in.
I mean, hey, you would think that's normal for you right there when I'm looking at them curls up there. It's
Hey,
not a wow one or nothing special.
this is my most expensive piece, by the way.
Oh man, tell me about it. Uh, one of the coolest things about having guest speakers, chat, as Mike try and work on his headphones and his audio, and you guys see the face, you guys see his face right now, all cringing. He's so angry about that he can't figure out how something works. One of the
Mike,
coolest things about having is that if you join early, we have time to fix out the technical
that's not my
difficulties.
fault. That's my fault. I, I was busy building stuff and putting bedroom furniture up that I almost
Oh
got here
man,
late. But Mike, if you just unplug your stuff and just go right off your computer, if no one's in there, you can just talk through that.
yeah, yeah. So if you just unplug your whole
Yeah. So
podcast
your
system,
mic and
like,
everything, just unplug it all and just go right
and
off
then
your computer.
just go right off your computer, it'll pick up your computer speakers, buddy. I don't even know if he can hear us, to be honest with you. Uh,
Mike, I just thought about that.
yeah, I don't even know. But before we're gonna give him a couple more minutes before we jump into topic. But I do gotta thank you. So February 2nd
Oh yeah, let's do it.
was our 1 year anniversary. And like, we have really good friends in our circle. Melissa, this is awesome, right? I love the some of you guys probably can't see it on my actual bottle, but it does say Guy Lingo 1 year anniversary. So this right here is actually pretty awesome, especially because it's Grey Goose. So it's definitely gonna get put up there and probably not drunk.
Ooh,
And then if I drink it, I probably got to replace it with water or something. But
I actually was probably gonna drink mine and replace it and bedazzle the bottle, and then it's gonna
but it,
become
but
bling bling in the back.
it's such a pretty cool. It's pretty cool. So again, we appreciate you. You always find some way to celebrate us. So
Yeah, because that,
we
that
do want
matches
to
the
take a moment and
glasses
thank you for that.
that we received an inauguration layer.
Yeah. So while we continue to wait for Mike, what are your thoughts about this week? I mean, we got 2 games left. We got 2 practices left.
Mike is what? It's sending me a message up here. Do you know Mike? Shoot, man. I think I think they have a chance to win these last 2 games.
Mm.
Um, for some reason, I have a feeling that this last game left some lingering effects on a few people.
Mm.
And I believe the play will be a lot different come Tuesday night and Thursday night,
Mm.
especially since they saw what the underclassmen did and provided. They did everything. They did everything. They did everything they were supposed to do to put the
As
older.
an underclassman, yeah.
Yep, as the underclassmen, like they did. They lived up in the moment. They
Mhm.
rose to the moment. In limited time, limited opportunities, they rose to the moment, and it was needed for those upperclassmen to step up at certain
Mhm.
times and take
Mhm.
advantage. Especially when you said uh, it came down to we those free throws that we might have missed. So those could have been very clutch in the moment. You there, Mike?
Yeah.
No, you're not, Mike.
I, he didn't unplug his stuff. He's still trying to talk to his microphone. Um, it's okay, Mike. We can have you next week. You could just continue to be a fan this week. He's
You
so
can hear us,
upset.
but you can't talk.
He's so upset right now. I love it, man. I love it. I just think this is what happens when you go live. All right, what's our first topic of the night, Platinum?
I'm going to go locally.
Mm.
Just talking about some stuff that just happened here recently that just got found out. The news just said they just arrested 5 people here in Portland that just got busted for the largest fencing ring in Portland history
A lot of
with tens
the largest what?
fencing meaning stolen goods.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So they had over tens and tens of thousands of stolen goods and electronics and gift cards that people were stealing from stores, bringing to them. They'd
Mm,
pay it like if it was $250, they pay them $60, and then turn around and sell it online.
mm,
So they're getting all profit basically. I
mm,
mean, with a
mhm.
discount, paying a person like $60 for a $250,
Right,
electronic.
right.
So I guess they had been watching them for the last year, and they finally decided to go ahead and arrest the 5 people at the, I believe it was Card Rhino out in Portland.
Okay.
So if you ever bought something from them, you was buying stolen goods, pretty much, because they was just getting all that stuff from the people off the streets, and people in Portland they was robbing them places like no other, and
But
police weren't doing nothing.
yeah, like I don't think they try and do anything, to be truthfully honest with you, when it comes down to um the thefts or the robberies and things. I think that's just so low priority on the list of stuff that's happening.
Yeah,
You know what I always wonder though? What they don't talk about, because I think I was watching something similar in another state when I was watching the news, but they ended up recovering like $450,000 in cocaine and all of this stuff. Not only the drugs, but they also recovered that much in cash.
yeah.
Where does that money go?
Supposedly it's supposed to go into lockup for evidence, but what ends up happening if you watch
But
those
but
old
how
movies
but how long does it sit in evidence?
was
Because
getting
the amount of money all of these people are taking when they're arresting people, because this ain't the first time. Like I see it a lot, right? Where like how long does it stay in evidence? And then at that point, where does it go?
so you're supposed to sometimes they use that money to use it in other bait and crimes. So they like to bait them. So they use that money, but it's supposed to be checked out and checked back in. And then after a certain time, they just burn the money and get rid of the drugs. That's not what happens. They recirculate that money. They put that stuff right back on the streets, and it comes right back up sooner or later, either used or unused for another bus. That's my theory is because if you actually would go in and you would think, hey, if I walked into the evidence room, there should be pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds and pounds on top of pounds of drugs and money. But if you're actually smart about it, if you're collecting all this money, why wouldn't you just put it into your taxes?
That's why I was going next, right?
Why why,
Like
why are we even holding on to it or even burning it? Why wouldn't you just collect it and say, oh, you know what? Thank you for donating back to us for your crime. Boom, and put it back into taxes, and don't have me have to pay no more.
so I was actually thinking the same thing, right? Like, but not only that part, right? I'm struggling, and I was chatting with my wife about this recently. I think what I'm struggling is that why everybody that goes into politician and they make it to Capitol Hill, or they make it to the state legislator and stuff, like, why are they always rich? You join politics, you're broke, but then you end up rich. Why is that?
Because you got people funding you.
but they're funding your campaign. They're not
Correct.
funding you.
You can't be a broke leader. Well, I mean, come on. Think about it. You ain't see nobody out there being, hey man, I'm out here just leading everybody just broke.
So what you're
Not
saying illegally, they're taking funds from their campaign to profit themselves. Because in theory,
GoFundMe. That's what
I
they're
think
doing.
that's crazy, man.
That's
Like,
basically what it is. It was just a political GoFundMe. That's all
so
they do.
so people are actually
So
making
basically, you're
other
telling me I need
people
to start
rich.
running for office, so somebody will start paying me some
Well,
GoFundMe.
that's what you know
'Cause
what I
I'm
keep
the
telling
brother,
myself.
bro.
I keep telling you know what I'm not gonna say what I keep telling myself because I'm gonna try it eventually at some point run in office, and I don't want this to surface back up.
True, this would be the least of the stuff that could surface back up. The president's a criminal. Man, that dude
Hey,
committed the best crimes.
he has, but you know I do think that a lot of the money and stuff that comes in, and they AKA quote unquote burning and stuff like that. But then you hear about all of these schools that are that are in debt or whatever you want to call it. Like I see $36 million worth of debt, but then I see all of these politicians that are multimillionaires. I'm not talking 1 million, 2 million.
No, I
These
know.
people got 50, 60, 70 million. And if every one of them donate just $1 million, we might be good.
Hey man, if you get this initiative to pass, I'll give you a couple million. Because by you getting this initiative passed gives me 20 million.
I
So it
just
doesn't
think it's
hurt me to pay
crazy.
you 2 million.
Yeah, I
Or I'm a
just think it's
farmer.
crazy.
Hey, I'll cut you, a couple acres out of here if you can help me out on this side of this stuff. I need help out here. Okay, cool. I got you.
Yeah, no,
It's just all they are legalized criminals.
yeah, I think they are,
They're the ones started this stuff.
because also I don't know if you saw, but Friday night or Saturday morning, the Supreme judges came in and said what President Trump was doing in terms of the tariffs was illegal,
Yeah.
right? So they've taken that away.
And they just-
However, get a load of this. Since he implemented this stuff, we've we've been able to make, from a country perspective, $170 billion. What happens to that money?
they're building a new wing on the White House. That's $250 million.
But did you not
Supposed to
hear
be
me
done
now?
by the time he's done. Like,
But
come
did
on, why are you wasting money on that?
But did you not hear what I said? It was 170
I know,
billion
but
with a
it all
B.
adds up on stupid stuff. Like you keep paying for stupid stuff, it starts adding up. That doesn't make sense. Like, here's the thing: where we struggle at is in the education. And if you don't invest into your education and the children of your future, then how are you going to have a country that is successful?
Well,
Where you see other countries, their schooling is a whole lot better than ours because they
well,
invest back into it.
well,
We're
our
supposed to
president
see
feels
free.
that it's the parents' responsibilities to educate their kids.
You can't educate your kids if the parents aren't educated. Google is educating kids.
I agree. I'm not
And
disagreeing with you.
someone's educating teachers because I'm gonna tell you, I was in that thing and asked that teacher if she knew how to spell. She said, I don't know how to spell myself. I just use Google. I said, oh my gosh, why are you even teaching? If you can't, if a kid was to ask you to spell a word and you were like a teacher and you say, oh, I can't spell that, you need a new profession. Because if I gotta rely on Google when I used to rely on a teacher, then I don't even need you anymore. What
But
are you
but
doing for me?
but as you talk about education though, like listen to how you're talking about it. You know, you talk about the other countries, and then you talk about us. Are we even teaching the right things in our schools, right? Like for an example, if you take math for an example, right? Math has probably been the hottest topic since I was in school.
Mhm.
And it still is a hot topic, right? You're teaching kids calculus and stats and stuff,
That's
classes
basic.
that you'll never need it
Math is used all day now.
unless you go into that area of
Analytics.
market. Are we teaching the right curriculums in our school?
Depends on certain schools. Some schools do teach the right things, and then you can go to some schools that are targeted towards what you want to learn.
Should that be a country standard that we enable schools where kids can enroll and focus on their studies of areas, or
Yes,
so
like
you feel
if I'm
that
going into high school, right, and I already know that I don't plan on going to college to be, a doctor or anything. I should be able to go to high school and in high school start doing my trade. So whatever my trade is, if I want to be a drafter, I want to be a welder, I should be able to start doing everything geared towards that. So
So
then by
what?
the time I
So pause
graduate,
right there. So pause right there. At what age do you feel students should know what they want to do with their life? Then.
I mean, it can vary. I mean, they may want to change. Like everything and anybody can change at certain times. That I started the first year. Welding ain't what I want to do. Right? You still have your normal school
High
classes, but
school curriculums.
it's just like you're already in college anyway, right?
So,
So
but
you're just taking classes that's more geared to what you want to learn instead of learning
but I
information
think
that you don't need. I
but I
guess.
think but I think the reason why I asked that question is because like I like where you're going with it, but not all schools can offer the same curriculum
I
because
agree.
things are going to get left.
But
So if the kid starts out going to school to be a doctor and 2 years in they feel that's not what they want, are you saying that they now have to transfer schools to take up whatever they want
no,
if that particular school don't offer it?
that school doesn't just offer just that one particular trade. It
Yeah, but
offers
there's
all.
some trades that they don't. I know they offer multiple
Yeah,
ones,
yeah, yeah.
but what if
So,
it's something
so
that's
maybe
not
it's
there?
not that, and maybe maybe just like in colleges, you might have to transfer to a different college, right? Or you just get whatever difference is off online now, so you don't even have to go nowhere. You can still go to that school, do the things you want to do, and can finish that up, and then still take those extra credits or other things you want to do online. I
Uh,
mean,
I,
there's so many
I,
variables now with with options for these kids these days. Like I told you, I wish I had online back then.
mhm.
I should be
I,
able to go back and reciprocate my credits.
I actually think, I actually think, I actually think online school is a lot more beneficial than in-person school for athletes. Um, I think they can spend more time on being an athlete,
Hmm.
um, while getting their education. So I like the online methodology. Ever since COVID hit,
Hmm.
I just think it's also important to teach kids accountability and responsibility, right? So I think that's an important act, right? As they do that, and a lot of these schools today, teachers, and I'm not going to get on teachers' cases. You get some really good teachers that really want to educate, help,
Yep.
and stuff like that, and then you get some teachers that's just there, right?
Yep.
Like
I agree.
I'm
I
here,
mean, bad
I'm
apples
just going to
everywhere.
give you the book.
Yeah, there's bad apples everywhere. Remember when you used to give your teacher an apple?
What happens if we gave her a bad apple and we didn't know? Like,
Well, you see, here's the crazy part because I used to just pick apples off the trees as I'm walking to school or something, be like, "Oh, here, Mrs. Such and Such." So I don't know. How am I supposed to search and make sure the apples? But just think of that now. Now you go give a teacher an apple and she ain't eating it. She's like, "I don't know where this came from. You can have that
yeah,
back."
I ain't eating nothing that's not open. I mean,
Uh,
that's already open.
yeah, see, they'd be like, "Don't it know? You can take that apple off my desk." Sorry.
What else
Uh,
we got, man?
Man, I got a lot of stuff actually to talk about. There's a lot of crazy stuff that's been happening.
It
Did you
has
see
been. It is.
the dude in Henderson, Nevada, that
Mhm.
stole the bulldozer and ran over the cop cars? And then they tried to talk to him to tell him to stop in English and Spanish, and he didn't, so they had to shoot him. Uh, First of all, when the guy, no matter what origin race you are, if you go to steal a bulldozer that does not belong to you, and you decide that you're going to try to be like you're a kid and running over cars with people in them, the possibility of you surviving that day is slim to none, especially in this day and age.
Uh, it depends. I do think it depends.
What are we doing?
I,
If you had an opportunity, the keys are in the bulldozer.
keys are typically always in bulldozers, but yeah,
You hopping in that bad boy and taking it for a ride.
no, absolutely not. Well, you know what? I've always wanted to drive one. I have, but if I did, but let's just say for an example, if I did went and I, in theory, drove one, it's not going to be to run cars over. It's going to be in the hills or something. So if anything, I'm
Just
probably
digging
going
up
to hit.
dirt or something, like moving stuff
I'm probably
around
going to hit
in
a
the
tree
parking
or
lot that
something.
you're
Yeah,
in. You're not
I,
gonna try to go and try to run over stuff. Yeah, I would see. Yeah, like the dudes that stole the tanks down in Memphis.
Memphis.
Yeah,
I,
you stole
I
a
just
tank.
think. Yeah, I just think with the bulldozer, I just think he just wanted to try something that he was watching on TV. I don't know. I don't have an answer. A lot of stuff been going on in Nevada. Let's just put it that way.
Speaking of, that's where I'm about to hit to. Actually, you know what? I was taking a break in between that because there was another something else that happened. Before I got to Nevada, to the other one in Nevada. Did you see the story in Georgia?
Which one?
21-year-old Kyle Basinga was found hanging from a tree in Marietta,
Mm,
Cobb County, Georgia, on Saturday. They have ruled it a suicide, but there has been little to no coverage of this particular incident at all. What do you think about this?
it's normal.
Normal for what?
Normal in the South.
Boom. I was just about to say that. Black people don't commit suicide by hanging themselves from
No,
trees.
no, not from a tree. Um,
And
but
only
you know that's
look at you hear listen to the story. You only hear about this in the South.
Mhm.
It's never been a story of some black male in New York, no black male in Chicago, black male. No, it's always somewhere in the South.
Yeah,
And then they're gonna say it's a suicide.
in the states that was legal. But this is the second time. Like, if I think if you go back a little bit,
Within a year. Yep.
more than a year ago,
Yep.
it happened on a college campus as
Yep.
well, right? Um, Black people aren't gonna just hang themselves on a tree, right? Like we understand the history and stuff like that. Um, so that's just not gonna happen. Now, if you would have said the bathroom or some other crazy
Yep.
place, that's just a common, kids dealing with mental health. But you're not gonna hang yourself on a tree where I don't want to use the word tradition, but where it happens more and more often, in those southern states and stuff. Racism exists, right? It doesn't matter how much you're trying to escape it. It doesn't matter how much you're in states that are least racist than others, because I don't, it exists in our own backyard here in Oregon, but me growing up in the South, you just see it more, right? So you just become a lot more accustomed to it. You know where to go versus where not to go. You know where to be at versus where not to be at certain times of night. I've driven up on KKK events growing up as a young male. So you just like that's why I'm like it's custom, right? Like I think now that social media and news outlets are more faster to release things to the public and stuff like that, you guys are just now hearing it, right?
Mhm.
But we heard it all the time growing up, right? And it's only in that local newspaper. It doesn't go into USA Today and stuff like that because it's not important.
Yeah. And by the way, racism is big on both sides in the South.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
'Cause yeah, yeah, I've heard it. I've heard it. Uh, on to Nevada, where we have some more stuff happening. And this happened actually in Vegas, where we'll be in 30 months, 30 days plus.
Yeah.
Mom from Utah, 38-year-old Tawana, Tawana, that is definitely not her name. Tanya McGeehan fatally shoots her 11-year-old daughter and then herself in the Rio
Mhm,
Hotel Casino in Las
mhm.
Vegas last Saturday while
Yeah,
they were there for a cheer competition.
yeah,
They didn't know where she was at, and so they did a welfare check on her for the next day when they found the
mhm,
bodies.
mhm,
The mom, I guess, supposedly, here we go again with the mental health issues, but she was also going through a very, very nasty custody battle with the husband, her ex-husband,
mhm,
for over the
mhm,
last 9 years.
mhm,
So she decided to be selfish in this particular moment,
mhm.
by taking her life, but not only her life, but taking her daughter's life away from not her only her dad, but anybody else that she had as far as loved ones in her life, and then
Yeah,
living her own life.
yeah.
Um, Problem with mental health continues to be an issue or craziness, however you want to call it, and it continues to ruin a lot of lives. Where does this?
We wanna use mental health for everything we do, man.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I said.
like,
Mental health
I
is
just
crazy.
wanna like, let's just call it where we see it, right? Like, that was just disgusting, right? I don't care what your mental mindset is. I don't care, like, what your divorce status or breakup status is. That little girl did nothing to lose her life. She didn't ask to be here. That
Mhm.
was you and your husband decided to bring her here, and I'm sorry if I get choked up because that I read that and that kinda bothered me, a little bit when I read it last week, and now you're resurfacing it. So, I like, it's sad, man, like, and for us, and I mean the American peoples or news outlets or whatever you wanna call it, to say it's mental health, um we don't know the definition of mental health, right? So if someone does anything to harm themselves or another person, the first thing we want to do is start mental health versus saying the person is crazy, right? Bottom line, that's just a sick person that didn't want her husband happy or her ex-husband in this case
Mhm.
to be happy. So she took the one thing that this guy probably is absolutely crazy about,
Yep.
and that is his daughter, right? So and then obviously she didn't care about her life. So
Yep.
and now she's probably, at the time she probably was doing it, she was like, now what? Right? Like now you gotta live without your daughter, right? So I don't know, man. Like people need to stop saying mental health when it comes down to, all of these people that's doing bad stuff
Well,
and
that's
just call it like it
my
is.
that was my thing though. If that was the case, why would you allow her to have custody, and then why would you allow her to leave the state?
Platinum, I'm not surprised of the custody thing because we have a really bad court system that's out there. I've witnessed it firsthand with my family members and things like that. Mothers will always get primary until there's something that happens and then they would switch it. But sometimes it's too late,
Mm.
right? And that's not always the case. But like I said, I've witnessed it firsthand where judges don't look at the evidence and they always tend to go give that kid back to the mom. So like I think there's no fair trial when it comes down to custody battles with male and females.
Yeah.
And I get that kids do need the nurturing and things of their parents, especially their mom. But at the same time, if there's evidence showing that this individual is crazy and stuff like that, or this individual is not fit or not financially stable to be able to handle their
Should
kid,
all of the above.
where someone else, there should always be something done about it. But judges don't see it that way, and that's why I think our system is broken, and that's why I think when cases like this come up and they look at the history, and if they saw court battles, I think those judges should be held accountable as well, especially if there has been a history of us trying to go to court, right, and say, hey, this is not right, this is not right, but then a judge sees the evidence and still side on the opposing side.
Yeah.
And like I said, I've seen it firsthand, um, with one of my family members. So it's like, you know, there's nothing you can do. And then things like this happen. And then the first thing we want to say is mental health, right?
Yeah.
Well, it should be that damn judge fault that, decided to side with the mom when the dad was fighting it and fighting it and fighting it. And I will go and sue. I will go and sue the hell out of the court system. I will exhaust every dollar I have. I don't care if I don't have nothing when I'm all said and done. Because now I think that dad really is going to have mental health
Oh
issues
yeah.
that
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
going to have to
Yeah.
deal with.
Yeah. Absolutely. Huh, man, it just it just keeps rolling on out, man. More and more and more stuff happening. Now we're moving to the state of Florida, where just recently 7 people are dead in a shooting stretching from the two Florida counties, and from Lauderdale to Sarasota. 6 victims killed,
Yeah,
homes and in the driveways, including the shooter who killed himself in his car.
yeah.
Um, this killing 6 members connected by family describing it as a generation is being wiped out. More mental issues or anger. Either way, someone snapped. Whatever happens to just walking away when you're mad or going somewhere and cooling off
Yeah,
or
yeah.
using something or a method or whatever you like to do
Mhm,
to wasu yourself
mhm.
before it gets to these extremes.
The internet. If you're asking what's happened, the internet. Um, the internet has allowed those kids, and I'm not gonna say the kids that are mentally unstable, but the internet has allowed has allowed people to think differently, right? Before it was the Columbine shooting, right? That
Mhm.
barely it made national news, but it wasn't to the level that we have today when there's incidents that occurs, right? And some people in today's world, they just snap,
And
period.
I don't know
And
who
those
how
aren't
old
mental issues,
I
bro.
don't know how
Like,
old the person is. They haven't
yeah,
disclosed how old the person was that
yeah.
did the
I
shooting.
think he was 20 something. Yeah.
Okay.
Those aren't mental issues, bro. Those are people that first of all, you had family issues growing up. You know, when you have family issues
Yep.
growing up and you're like, you know what? Say one more thing to me. Just say one more thing to me.
Yeah.
Right. And the dude just snapped, right? And it's unfortunate that
He
that
snapped
occurred.
and then drove 200 miles and snapped again.
I think the 200 miles he drove from Sarasota to Miami, I actually think that was an intent to do so. I think he was already going to do it. I think there was something that led up to it. I actually have that story saved because I want to follow it. But I actually think there's more to that story that hasn't come out.
Yeah, they only released the last names. They haven't released the
Yeah,
first names
yeah,
of the people.
yeah. But for you to get in the car and drive 200 miles, that means that there was an intent to do so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He literally drove 200 miles and then killed 3 more people.
And
Huh.
they probably was just chilling. They didn't even know he was coming.
They absolutely didn't know.
Yep. Yep.
He got one in the driveway. Got them both in the driveway actually,
Yep.
and then one in the house.
Yep. And then again, he could have said something to them on the phone or prior to what he was gonna do, and they didn't take it serious, right? Because that's another thing we got to look at as well, right? There's too many times there's threats and things that happen, and we don't take it serious.
Little bits
Like
of
American people do not. Like I've heard
yeah,
things that comes to me. Like now, I'm probably gonna take it a little bit more serious in life today. But I've been threatened before, and you're like, yeah, he ain't gonna do nothing.
yeah.
Like that's kind of what goes through all of our mind,
Mhm.
right? So I also think that we need to take threats a little bit more serious because there's more to this story for him to go all the way and do that. So that's interesting.
Yeah, that was definitely interesting. Another story just happened today. First thing, do not travel to Mexico. There's a shelter in place.
Oh man,
Do
you
not
you know
travel
what?
to these certain areas
Yeah,
due to the
yeah.
killing of a cartel leader this
They
morning
ki-
in
they killed my
Guadalajara.
boy El Chapo.
So, real quick, the Mexican police
Hmm.
kill a cartel leader.
Hmm.
American people don't travel.
That's because there was some American intelligence in them killing them. So it wasn't Mexico and Mexico. It was America
Okay,
had
I
a
was
lot
like,
to do with
make
that.
that make sense. So
Yep, yep.
you
Yeah,
kill a gang leader in
yeah.
America. They don't tell Mexicans to go
Yeah,
back.
no,
Like, come on,
no,
like
no. There was a lot of inside. There was a lot. America or the U.S. in other words, right? The United States played a big key to that departure of that individual, which is why they're now threatening the Americans, in particular in Puerto Vallarta. I was actually pretty surprised to see that because that is a major tourist town. People are there all the time. I was just
that's
there
one of
last
the places
year,
I've been in Mexico.
um, just riding ATVs in the middle of town, right? And we do see the police, the federales and stuff driving with their machine guns and stuff, and we don't think nothing about it. But you know what was funny was my wife was just asking, did we want to go to Mexico for a week? Uh, and we are going in late July, by the way.
I would tell you,
Um,
mine ain't going nowhere close.
but you know, it just goes back to like take it out on the law enforcement. Don't take it out on the innocent civilians.
That's what I'm
Like
trying to figure out. Like, how
they
does
have
that
no,
have to do
yeah, yeah,
just because he got killed? Like, what? No, we're gonna get all the Americans. I'm like, I'm just chilling at home. I have no clue who you were
or all of
in
those
Mexico
people
down
aren't
there.
those
So if I
results.
just take a trip and you gonna get at me because I'm on a trip, nah, no clue about you.
Yeah, yeah, it's yeah, and you can't travel with
Knowing you doing that, you're hurting your own economy
yeah, you can't travel with a weapon, right?
because the Americans are bringing the money,
Yeah, but I don't
which
think they care about the money, right?
yeah,
If
they
you're
do because
talking
then the
about it,
money goes to
cartel.
them.
Yeah, you're talking about the cartel, so I think that's least of their worries, just the money.
Cartel always got
Um,
money runs
yeah, no,
everywhere.
I'm actually I can't believe they killed the dude though.
I never
Like
seen a poor
I
cartel.
think that's crazy. Like I just think it's crazy. But the reason why we're always into shit, man. Sorry about my language, chat, but the U.S. is always in someone else's shit. Can we, for once, just worry about our own shit?
That's the whole
You just
purpose. That's the
you
thing.
you just brought up mental health, right? Even though I disagree with it, can we fix that shit here in the United States, or the
Education,
homeless population,
job,
or
yep,
the school population?
money.
Can we just stay in our own shit? Because every time I turn around, we always in someone else's shit.
Yeah,
Always.
we in the Bay right now, getting ready to start a war.
Like I saw that in Iran. I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
it's
what are
gonna
we
be
doing?
very, very bad. It's gonna be very
Like,
bad.
what is it like? We got our own problems here, and we can't even fix our own self. How are we gonna go help others fix their problems? I don't get that part.
Speaking
And
of,
sorry about my language, chat, because I know some of my basketball kids might be listening to this, but it's nothing they never heard. But I don't understand why we can't fix our own problems in our own country, right? We always
I've
gotta
been saying
go
that forever.
like
So,
like let's go get into somebody else's stuff. Look like they can use some help. I mean, how about you help ourselves for a
but
change?
that's the thing. If you're always in somebody else's stuff, then
You
you
don't
know,
have time for your own stuff,
correct.
right?
That's the thing, though. That's what you're gonna say. It's like, oh
Well,
man,
that's the
I'm
problem,
too busy
right?
taking care of all these other things. We ain't got
Yeah,
time to worry about us.
yeah,
We'll
we're
be
too
okay.
busy laying of the free where every where every person has a gun in this world, right? And we're killing each other, and we're okay with it. But yet we want to go and yeah, let's intervene with this drug cartel.
I
What are
think
they
I
doing to
know where
you?
the world should make all guns BBs.
That way it bounce off of you.
Yeah, that's all you're gonna get is a little welt, and you're gonna learn your lesson.
Oh man, it'll penetrate the
Come back
skin.
around here.
Them BBs that penetrate the skin. I don't know. I don't know why we can't just mind our own stuff. Every
Did you?
time you turn around, you're in somebody else's stuff.
Yeah,
Knowing
but
that,
speaking of somebody else's stuff, did you see the dude that decided to go to Mar-a-Lago
I
at one
did,
thirty in the morning just
and
yesterday?
he was 21 years old,
Yeah, with a
and
shotgun and a gas can.
but what was crazy was his parents had just reported him missing. He was
Missing.
from North Carolina,
Yeah, he
and he
drove all the way
drove
there.
from North Carolina all the way to Florida. Who was he
Him and
going
that
to?
same dude were driving at the same time.
What was he going to do?
Trump wasn't even there.
What was he going to do? That's why I'm confused.
Maybe he was going to try to hide out until he got there. I don't know, but he had to know that that thing is the most secure place ever in Florida.
I don't understand it. Ever since that dude came close to killing the soon to be president, because no one outside of JFK has been fully assassinated or close, right? But I just think it's crazy, bro. Like first of all, you're 21 years old. That blows my mind away. Politics is that bad to the
Man,
point that we are now killing each other. I was reading, I know I was listening to a podcast when I was going to basketball one day, and it was just a quick one, and they was just talking about how one of the dads in Texas just got off. The judge found it as an accidental shooting. He shot and killed his daughter because they was having political differences, right?
he got
And
off.
then and so him and his daughter was having political
Yeah, no, I know. I saw
differences.
that.
The daughter flew across country because I guess they're from Britain or somewhere, and he claimed he picked up the gun and it just went off. First of all, I'm hearing that story far too much, and as a gun
Guns
owner,
actually going off. Yeah, okay, yeah. You're a
as,
gun owner, but your guns just actually go off.
as a gun owner, everyone knows not to have one in a chamber, right? That's as a gun owner, right? So I I keep hearing that, and the fact that the judge believed it, right? When the boyfriend was just saying they was just fighting over political differences,
Yeah.
and he goes and pick up his. Why would you even go pick the gun
Why
up?
you have a gun to talk to your daughter anyway?
Like, why would you go pick it up? Exactly. That's my point.
So
Why
that's
would you?
crazy. So he gonna be killing people. He just killed his own daughter. He don't care about nobody else.
That right there blew my mind away, bro. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, we've gotten to the point where we can't sit here and say, "Hey, man, we'll get you in 4 years." Like, oh man,
Or
that's
it
it.
doesn't matter what I say or vote right now because
Yeah,
you're gonna
yeah.
change it up anyway and do whatever you want. So
Like, you
just
can't even
figure
tell
out a
nobody who you voted for. They snap on you. You can't even tell nobody who you voted for.
yeah, crazy
Think
times.
about it. You
I
can't
don't
even
know.
tell nobody who you
I
voted
just
for.
remember the funny thing to me is I got a few friends now that are actually in politics and in high school and stuff. You would have never thought that they would be in politics. So it's just funny because they are, and how in high
Yeah.
school nowadays these kids are like in it big
Mhm.
time because of the internet and social media.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't ever remember, being very, in high school and people, oh man, you gotta, who you voting for? No, nobody was
No.
caring about that.
No. All we knew, only thing we knew every 4 years we got a new president.
Yep.
That's all we knew, if you think about it. And we would watch CNN or Fox News and they would
Whatever
just
that
have
was, they do
those
that
up
inauguration.
there.
Yep.
That was it, bro. We didn't know no reason why. We didn't know blue and red or and I was just asking my wife the other day. I was like, well, it's okay. You got blue, you got red. Is there a white population? Is
Nope.
independent considered the white population
The
on the flag?
Green Party. It's called
Oh,
Green Party,
well,
which is
where's
weird.
what? We
Good
ain't got no
point.
green on our flag.
Yeah. Well, good good point though. But that's called the Green Party. I don't know why it's called the Green Party.
Cause I was like, maybe I should start a new group.
The White Independent Party. I don't know if that'll go over. Maybe that's why they ain't got it.
I'm
Maybe that's
just
why they don't
saying.
have the White Party.
Hey, I was like, maybe I should just start a new group. Like,
That
I
actually
don't-
makes sense now that I think about it. That's probably why they don't have it. And they went right to green. I don't know why green, but yeah, green is the.
yeah, I don't know. Red and blue make green, don't it? What red and blue make?
Purple.
Oh, my bad. What else we got, man?
To get off of all that crazy stuff, I got a little bit more funnier one. Man goes to AutoZone and asks employee if he could check his battery on his car and replace it for a new one. The employee told him no. He is not going to replace it. It's too cold. It is 0 degrees outside. I don't do nothing in that type of weather. Even though that is part of his job description, what do you think about this? And what would you do?
I actually thought AutoZone stopped checking batteries and stuff
No,
like that.
no,
That's what I
it's still-
thought. At
Nope.
least I thought somebody told me that. First and foremost, the damn man that decided to drive in 0 degree weather.
He needed a battery.
I didn't have nobody to cut, but his ass is cut. First of all, I didn't have nobody to cut, but you know what? Hats off to that guy at AutoZone. And if AutoZone even considered firing that dude, they're an idiot. You can't expect nobody to go out there in 0 degree weather. And
That's
do
his
that,
job.
dude. I don't care what your
Okay, so
job
he,
is.
he ain't gonna go out in 0 degree weather, and he ain't gonna go out and it's too hot weather. Well, then what you doing?
No, hold on. No one said too hot. Did he say that?
Well, because it ain't hot now. It's cold right now.
Oh, but
But I'm
again,
just saying he gonna have another excuse next week.
talk to me when it's too hot. But
It's
you
raining
talking.
too much right now. I
Bro.
can't change that in the rain.
First of all, should you even be changing the battery in 0 degree temps? Like like just think about it. Should you even be changing the battery in 0 degree temps?
If you need a battery to start your car so you have some heat, you're gonna need to do that.
His battery's already working because he drove it to AutoZone.
He may have to jump to get there, and that's why he needed to get it replaced.
Oh man, I would have come on, bro. That's cold hard. Well,
One of the people in that chat was a manager at the place. He goes, "Yeah, you are supposed to do that," but he goes, "I'm not gonna make my employee go do it. I'll go do it if he's not gonna do it." But
hats
I'm
off
not
to
gonna
that
do it every
manager.
time for him. But we do have to do that. We're supposed to go do it.
Hey, hats off to that manager. Man, there's no way in hell I would expect my employee or myself to go out there in 0 or negative temps. And for the person that decided to drive there, I mean,
What you don't know what's gonna happen to your car at certain times.
okay, I would have went in there and said, "Can I borrow y'all tester so I can go out here and test my battery?"
But what if you
Come
don't
on,
know
man.
testing? Now, okay,
Come
let's
on,
let's
man.
rewind this. Let's rewind this. It's a girl. She comes in there and asks, "Now you doing it?"
Nope. I don't give a damn. I don't. Sorry.
He probably
I
doing it. He probably
No.
changes his mind and goes and does it.
Nah, well, I'm not doing it.
They
I
tried
don't.
to say because it's a man, he needed to go ahead and do it himself. But if it was a girl,
Nope.
he should go out there and do it.
Nope. Absolutely not. And then people will probably say, "Let's rewind it. What happens if it was an elderly?" I would have said, "What the hell are they doing outside that time in 0 degree weather? They should have their asses at the house." And then I will probably same thing. I'll ask my mom. Nah, bro. Nah, you already got me to come to work in 0 degree temps. Now you want me out there checking batteries?
You already
Come
got to
on,
go to work. That's
come
part of
on,
your
bro.
work.
Come on, bro. Like, on, come
Oh
on, bro.
man, AutoZone people gonna be like, I ain't working there. At least them places is too
Man,
cold. I'm gonna be at places where
man.
Arizona.
But you know what? I guarantee that man has probably done that in 30-degree weather. Because understand, I don't think where it was at, wasn't it in like the Northeast somewhere? They don't
Yeah,
get 0-degree temperatures all the time, right? I see if it was somewhere like Montana, or South Dakota, where those 0-degree temps are normal,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
But you're talking, okay, man, we're dropping to 0 degrees because of storms coming in.
yeah.
Ain't no way in hell, bro. Come on, ain't that that dude's cut? By the way, chat, you already know who I'm cutting tonight. I had no one to cut, but the
Oh
fact
man.
that that man went in there, I would love to get him on the podcast because more importantly, I'm curious where he was going, how did he drive there, and what
What you mean?
made
He
him
drove his car there.
go to a dealership that has a garage. And
Dealership.
then my advice to AutoZone would be in those states where it goes 0 degrees, you should probably have a garage where you'd be like, all right, yeah, pull around back. Come on, man. Don't have your employees go out there. Come on.
Did you see this?
What?
HD and DM might be
Yes.
making the trips.
Yes, I
Oh,
responded. Yes, I did
wow.
respond. But yeah, come on, man. That dude, his ad, and of course it'll go viral. Of course, he probably was the one recording it. So you ain't gonna go check my battery? Come on, man, get up out of here, bro.
Like he already knew he ain't gonna go do it.
Yeah, he knew he wasn't gonna do it. He's like, let me get. Come on, bro. How about you want somebody to
Speaking of,
come in your workplace and say go
speaking of
outside?
those, speaking of the
Come on,
recording things, you know how people record stuff like them kids be on the
preemptively.
elevator
Yep,
and the dude be touching the girl hand and the other dude be like, "Hey man, leave my girl alone," stuff.
yep.
Or the dudes that went into the
On the Escalade and stuff. Yep.
wrong neighborhood. He was like, "Hey man, you better get out my hood." Dude was like, and he had like a fake gun, and the dude had a real gun and walked up on him.
Yep.
We had some incidences where some of
Hmm.
these people doing these pranks have
Yep.
ended their lives.
Yep.
How
First of all,
much is too much just to get a
y-
click or a view?
you know what? Like the gun
Obviously,
thing
death is definitely too much, but
the gun thing is just out of control. You don't do that. Yeah. Bottom line, you just don't go into a neighborhood you're not familiar with a fake gun, right? And just for a click, because I mean, you can't. There's nothing you can do there. Period. Now, some of the incidents that you're saying, because I actually watch a lot of those things. I think it's pretty creative. Sometimes I be thinking it's staged.
oh, you mean
But
like
some of
the other
the
person?
girl is real. Is part of it. That's coming down. The
Oh,
guy's
okay,
real.
yeah, 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 yeah.
You
Some,
know what I
yeah,
mean? Like they're all actors, right?
gotcha. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And most of the times, right? Because
Those never really go too far. I'm talking about
yeah,
the other ones
yeah. I
out in
mean,
the streets, not the ones with the dudes touching girls' hands.
you get you know what you know the consequences that you decide to do when you go do it real for a click. Period. I mean, I can't even be mad at the dude for pulling out the real gun because you got the fake BB gun. Now,
Yeah,
I probably would have shot him in the ankle, right, or something
he
like
didn't
that,
shoot him.
right?
He just said, "Man, quit playing these games. Like we ain't playing no games out here
But I mean, yeah, no,
with these pranks. Y'all gonna end. Y'all gonna learn y'all lesson from all these pranks."
yeah, no. I'd be watching the Home Depot when they be putting buckets on people's heads and
Oh
stuff.
yeah, or are they at any store? They hit him with the pillow.
Yeah, because I want to try that one. I want to try it one day. One day I was like, dang, I want to walk in and put a
There's
bucket
no
on
way that's
somebody's
gonna
head, then
work.
put one on my head, and like, I mean, come on, man. Like,
Be like, "Oh, who did that?" Like, man, it was you. There ain't nobody else in this mind in this home.
oh man. See, Melissa said she can test her own battery. Testing the battery is not hard. It's just a little machine you put on your battery,
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, I'm still
he
mad about that.
he didn't
I'm
have the
still
little
mad.
machine.
Uh-huh.
AutoZone has it.
Okay, so AutoZone could have said, "Here you go.
He didn't
You
say
can go
it.
out there and test it
He
yourself."
said, "I ain't going out there to test it in 0 degree weather."
Okay, so he said he wasn't. So if he would have said he ain't doing it, I would have been like, "Well, can I borrow your tester?"
Well, he said, "Isn't this part of your job, though?" That's
See,
the whole.
yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So that dude would rather so why? And let me guess, he wasn't gonna go out there with him. He was gonna sit his ass in that warm weather, huh? In that warm ass store. Come on, man. I'm still mad about that. Let's move on. Change the topic.
Uh, that's it for my news
That
and
dude,
intro this week. We're going
y-
into
you
some
know,
sports.
also in Nevada today. Before we jump to
Uh,
sports, I don't know if you saw, but a guy decided to drive his car into the power plant. And he,
wait, what?
The guy drove his car into the power plant today, and he had guns and ammos and bombs in the back of it. It didn't explode before he took his own life, but he drove his car into the power plant.
What is going on in
They went
Nevada?
back they went back to the hotel and they found a lot of other stuff in his hotel room, but, he drove his
That's
car.
what's crazy. Like you go on these trips, you just be right next door to somebody that's doing the most stuff ever and not
Yeah,
even know it.
yeah. Well, I just think it's even crazier because it doesn't look like he was trying to go harm anybody. I I'm curious about the story, right? Because I'm like, he drove to the power plant? What was he just trying to knock the power
Knock the
out?
grid out.
Like
That
that's what
would
I'm
hurt. That would hurt the casinos. Like that would be it. Maybe then do the game's default and you just get all your money.
so
Oh,
it,
maybe it
it
happened.
ain't funny. It ain't
Maybe it
funny
happens
because
while we there.
it ain't funny because he took his own life. But the fact that he wasn't trying to hurt nobody, he just drove into the power plant. I don't know. I
Do
just
you,
thought I'd share that because
do these
Nevada had a
people get
lot of
like
stuff going on.
missions? Do they get missions to go do, or they pretend like they get missions to go do, and they in their head and they go, like, "I'm acting out this mission."
Some of these things that you talk about and some of
Little
the things
missions,
I
right?
read, I be trying to process it.
Oh,
Hey, sweetie,
real quick. She is going to be launching her own YouTube channel here soon.
let's go.
We will be doing tutorials and different things on there. I guess
What's
so.
she doing?
Coming soon. Coming soon.
Let's go.
Coming soon. Got to get some money. We got to make money out here. So,
Oh man, let's jump into sports, man. Let's jump into it.
uh,
Uh,
college basketball.
let's start with the breaking news in the NFL.
You go NFL.
Yeah, we had a
NFL. I
25
thought we were done with them.
we had a 25-year-old receiver from the
Oh, you're talking
Minnesota
about? Okay.
Vikings took his own life. Thoughts and prayers are definitely out with the family. But what are your thoughts on that?
It's happening way too much with these athletes, especially. People just assume because you make it to a certain point or you have a certain amount of money that you don't still suffer from some things and the things before you still were suffering from. Like
You're
it
not
may
human.
change some stuff,
Mhm.
but you still have that stuff you're still working on. And who knows that it also could have been part of the crutch, you know, once you become big or you make it to a certain, platform, people assume stuff. Hey, you should be
Mhm.
helping me with this, or I need help with that. And you're
Mhm.
getting pulled a million different ways to do it, while you're still out here trying to make it for yourself. So who
Mhm.
knows what actually was going on through his head? But like you said, prayers to him and his family, and to his loved ones. It is a
I
sad situation, like I said, but it's just happening way too much with a lot of
Yeah,
these young.
it's definitely happening far too much. But I still think it goes back to us normal people forgetting that they're human, that they are people, they're human, right? Because if you think about the number of death threats or whatever the case may be that these professional people are
Yeah,
getting,
missile
it's
shots.
absolutely insane, right? You lose a game or you drop a ball or something, you're called every name in the book. Or it's even, I was just talking to my mom on Friday because I got home and she was still fussing about the officiating. And I said, Mom, the officials make mistakes as well, right? But that's not why we lost the game. But I think too many times as fans, you forget that they're human, right?
Yeah,
And we treat them like garbage because they make so much money, right? And some people treat them that way because it's not them. They didn't make it to that point, so they're gonna bring everyone else down. And for whatever reason, they always say money cures everything in this world, but there's still a mental piece of it, and it's unfortunate because the kid was 25 years old, super young,
yeah,
had a bright future ahead of him, and it's very unfortunate that that happened, but I think it's also important that you check in on people, right? Make sure that they're good, because I think that's super important, especially as males. Males aren't people that shares their emotions and things like that. And I just think we as males need to do a better job there, uh, because I don't think we do, right? We hold a lot in. We try and be providers. We try and do all of this stuff as males, right? And then it takes a mental toll on all of us, right? and we just don't tell people when there's a problem or there's an issue. So I do think we need to be better there, man.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. So into the college basketball world.
Go ahead, man. Start with your boys. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I wasn't even going to start with them,
Oh
but I
well,
am.
great.
You
You
know,
want to start my team?
you can start with your team.
Great. Duke beat Michigan yesterday. I actually thought it was an outstanding game. I just want to call it out, right? First and foremost, I hate the fact that Duke is going to be number one because typically when we're number one, we don't win a championship. Um, but I think that Duke has the potential to win it all. Uh, they're gonna go as far as Boozer take them, because I don't know what Boozer put in his kids, but Cameron is a freaking beast. Like that kid is phenomenal.
I was just
Um,
talking about this the other day. The other twin has to be upset that he only got to be 6'5".
I don't know if
I'm
I
racist.
am. I part of me want the success of my brother because you're twins, right? But the other part of me is like, dang, this dude is a freak of nature. Because
I know it
yeah,
was kind of cool because they had a point guard and a big, like they both,
yeah,
on the
yeah,
floor and passing, each other. But then you're
yeah.
just looking at him, you're like, man, he's 6'11" and I'm 6'5". Like, and we're twins.
Yeah,
What?
that's insane, bro. That's one took mom and one took dad, man. That's all you can say to that.
Uh,
But I'm damn happy about March Madness coming up. I'm still bothered that I'm not gonna be in Vegas weekend one, because that's when the most gambling occurs and you got 64 teams and stuff. So I'll probably be at some local bar that day or those 2 days. Um, but if Duke gets to the 16, they're gonna make it to the Final Four. I'm just calling it like I see it. As for Michigan, um,
they're still a 1 seed. They dropped to the 2.
they're still a 1 seed for sure. I actually think because you and I was talking a couple weeks ago when we was talking about, um, do you continue to try and win your ACC tournament? I mean your Big 12
Yeah,
tournament,
or
Big
whatever.
10
Yeah,
tournament, ACC when you're already a number 1 seed, right? Or do you lose and rest?
right.
I don't know the answer to that because I'm gonna be honest, like Duke, they only lost 2 games this year.
Mhm.
Same with Michigan, that was Michigan's second loss as well. Um, I don't have the answer. Like, and I'm not saying you try and lose because at the end of the day, competitors always try and win. But man, if I think Michigan lost at the right time because now they're getting ready to go into that tourney, right? I think it's 2 more weeks left of the season, before that tourney starts, right? So I mean, most teams they take that loss, and this is why I'm like, all right, Duke has to lose because they're running high. You take that loss, and then that gives you that momentum, right, to win those next 10, 12, 13 games.
Crazy because all those big teams in the top 5 all took losses.
Yeah, yeah. And then there was Houston, Arizona. Um, I
Houston
didn't
by
watch a
2.
lot of that. I watched a little bit, but I did see the highlights. Calvin Sampson. Since I've known Calvin Sampson, is by far the best coach in the world when it comes to defense.
Yeah, I agree.
I've never seen a coach. It doesn't matter what your team is averaging. If you're playing against a Calvin Sampson Montana Tech team, if you're playing against a Calvin Sampson Houston team, you are not going to score a lot of points. He teaches his kids to play defense.
Yep.
I actually think he goes and recruit kids that are just
Strictly.
dirty
Yep.
and they want to play
He
defense.
teaches them offense.
Where Calvin Sampson is going to have to probably adjust to today's game,
It's the offensive.
is
Yep.
he going to have to try and get one scorer that may not play good defense. And I know what he live off of, and I know what he thrives off of, and I know what he's for. But those same players that are just damn good defensively cannot put the ball in the basket, right? And I think they went on a long period yesterday and couldn't score,
Yeah.
right? When they were up on Arizona, and if they could have just got a basket here and a basket there, it would have kept the game
Yeah.
extended. But they just could not. I mean, you go sit 7, 8 minutes and don't score in college basketball. That's a
Yes, sir.
problem.
Yeah.
That's a problem.
But the thing about
Uh,
it, it still wasn't a blowout though, because they were still playing good
no,
defense.
no,
That's the
you can, but
thing.
that's the thing. You can only play defense for so long, right?
Yeah.
And they play 30-second shot clocks like a champ, right? They don't give up fast break points. But eventually, that team's gonna team like Arizona, right? Number two, number
3.
5, something like that. Um, they're
Yeah,
gonna
yeah, yeah, yeah.
score eventually, right? And unfortunately, like they started scoring, but they weren't scoring consistently, right? The issue is Houston could not score,
Yeah.
right? So that's what made the run happen. It's not like they went on a 12-0 run, platinum where they scored every possession, right? They will
Mhm.
score. They won't score for about 2, 3 possessions. They'll score again. They won't score for about 2 possessions. Then they'll score again.
Yeah.
And that's what extended the lead because Houston couldn't score. Right? So I think that was crazy, man. Like I do think that Houston is gonna be probably a 2 seed or a 3 at the very
Yeah, that's where they have
worst.
them.
But
Yep,
I
yep,
also think they're gonna be the most vulnerable 3 seed because I actually think if they play against a team that's an offensive focused team, they may hold them, but I actually think they're gonna struggle to score still. And I think that's what's gonna knock them out actually.
Well, my UConn coaches said it this way, both men's and women. They recruit players that score to teach defense, not defensive players to teach offense. It's a whole lot easier to teach a offensive player how to play defense, but it's a whole lot harder to teach a defensive player how to play offense. This is what
I
they
think
said.
I'm 50-50 with that, and this is why I'm like, well, maybe I go and recruit both, right? Because I actually think it's hard to teach a kid to be a scorer. You're 100% right. That's an instinct thing, right?
Mhm.
Putting the ball in the hoop is an instinct thing. But I also think it's hard to teach a kid to play really good defense. You can probably teach them to play D,
Yeah.
but to play the defense like Calvin Sampson kids plays, that's built, man. That's not something that you teach in 1 year. That's something that you realize your role in
You've
high
been doing
school
it. Yep.
basketball,
Yep.
elementary basketball, middle
Yep.
school basketball. My role is to stop the best player,
Yep.
right? And as long as my team scores, we win. But those players also probably had really good scores on their team where they did not have to score, right? So now all of a sudden you get the best of the best defense from every team, and they didn't have to score much. That's what a struggle
Yeah.
comes in at for Kevin Sampson team. But I don't disagree with Gino. I think I disagree more with the men's side of things than the women's side because in women's basketball, scoring is everything, right? You get scores, you win championships in women's basketball. That's not always the case in men's basketball.
Who do you have? I mean, let me go. I'm gonna talk about my squad here. We did get the win, being up 21 on Villanova, and ended up winning by 10.
Yeah,
I think we're just going through the motions of the Big East right now. Honestly,
you're
we
not
got
challenged.
3 more games.
Mhm.
We play St. John's at the end of the season,
Yeah,
um, which will be good. Your the whole thing about that going into the tournament and maybe losing that first game or second game and having some rest might not be a bad deal for you guys.
I,
Um, I
but I also think that depends on the team, right? Like, and I have to say that multiple ways, right? If you're banged up, you're beat up, yeah, might be good.
especially
Uh,
if
if
we go in if we lose this game to St. John's, like
if
you just go ahead
yeah,
and
yeah,
because we're
I
already going to be a 2 seed at that point. Then you just
yeah,
keep the
you're
two
not gonna
seeds
be a
coming.
2 seed. You're gonna be a 5 seed.
You're going to be no 5 seed.
Yeah, you are. It's gonna be a 5-12.
And you know what? Even when we were 5 seed, that's even better. That's when we had our run. So
Nah, you just sit
and at the
back and
same
wait.
time, when we were that 5 seed, our girls was the number 1 team, and at that same year, we both won it. So that's not
5-12 matchup. It's
put us
not
at
gonna
a
be
five.
good on UConn side this year.
Put us at a 5. We're 1 seed right now because we jumped back up with all the losses
Yeah,
against. By the way, shout
yeah.
out to BYU with the upset over Iowa State. That was huge. I needed that. That actually
You
helped
you
me
you
out
know,
pretty
but
good.
was it an upset though? Like I think like I actually think the hype around BYU was real earlier this year. I actually thought they won a lot of games.
Yep.
But then that hype went away because they play a lot more challenging teams, right?
Mhm.
Uh, I think BYU played Iowa State twice already, if my memory's right. When you play the second round of your conference, is it really an upset at that moment of time, or is it we've gotten better or we have more confidence or we've studied film a lot more. You
I
see what I'm saying? Because
well,
there's moments when BYU played them the first time, I actually think it wasn't a back to back, but it was a other day, right? I think it was a Thursday, Saturday type game, something like that, right? that 1 day lag is tough when you compared to when you have 2 and 3 days to prepare for a team, and especially
Yeah.
at the college level.
I
So, I mean,
the only
I'm
reason I
happy
said
they
it's an
won.
upset based on the rankings. That's why I said it's an upset.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wouldn't
Thanks a lot.
say because the Big 12 is probably one of the, if not the toughest conference
Yep,
to me.
yep, yep.
Pretty much
When it
top.
comes to basketball, yep,
Yeah, top to bottom,
yep.
with so many ranked programs and so many high top players. Um, Speaking of top players, I'm not going to ask who you have for Player of the Year. I probably already know who you have for Freshman of the Year. But what is your choice for Freshman of the Year right now with all the rookies?
Oh, it's Boozer, without a doubt, without a doubt. But you know what? He was also the best. He was also the best senior. He was the number one. Well, he was number two coming into college outside of AJ, right? The difference. This is where I struggle. I think that all freshman team is going to be awesome to see.
Yeah,
I think I just struggle with Boozer and AJ. You know, it sucks that both of them can't have it. I think
get Freshman of the Year and one could get Player of the Year. Like,
and that very well could be the case, right? Because if you sit back and think about it, when you play two completely different positions, right? It's tough, man. And when you got a big that 6'11" can stretch the floor, and then you're this 6'5" guard,
ooh,
it's tough,
come on,
man.
Peterson.
AJ,
He's 6'9".
whatever.
Yeah,
But
AJ is 6'9".
is he?
Yeah,
I didn't.
Peterson is 6'6".
Well, when Peterson get my shit list of the year award. He don't get a
Oh, well,
award.
that's what you say you was gonna cut. That's what you said on the
I
other day.
know, but
That's
the
what we talking
man,
about. You
the
said you're gonna cut.
AutoZone person done got me, man. The AutoZone person he
He
done
said
overtook Peterson.
he said you was gonna cut him because he already low managing in college.
You can't load, man. I mean, here's my thing. First and foremost, when you as a coach go to media and say you did not know that kid was going to be out the second
Mhm.
half, and you don't discipline that kid, that's on you as a coach because your ego is more around winning than doing the right thing for your program. And right now, Peterson is good. Don't get me wrong. When he's available,
Yep.
he is one of the best guards in all of college basketball when he is available, right? But the fact that he's not injured, he's not sick, he just
Cramp.
don't want to play. He has no
Cramp.
motivation to play. That's the problem. That
Yeah.
just means it's a slap in the face to your other teammates, right? And I know I've heard a little bit of people over the NBA talk about owners are dumb if they take them number one and stuff like that. I almost have to agree with some of these people because if you sit back and think about it right now, if this kid don't want to play, as a college athlete, what makes you think he's gonna want to play when he get to the league?
So you have the number one pick. You taking Boozer?
I'm taking Boozer without a
No,
doubt.
no matter what. Not even you don't even need him.
I'm taking Boozer without a doubt.
So I almost think that this is kind of like the what's his name? Manning. You know how
Mm,
he didn't want to go to San Diego,
mhm.
so they had like that little play. I think this is what he's trying to do. I think he doesn't want to go, even though he doesn't know who the number one pick is. He's assuming that the number one pick is going to be obviously a shitty team, right? So he's saying, "I'm gonna low manage, right? You can figure out what you want to think about it. Y'all want to move me down the line? That's completely fine with me.
So you think he's trying to sabotage his stock?
What else are you doing? What else would you call it? You were already a bona fide number one pick.
He is by far.
So why? What else are you doing? That's considered. I think you're basically doing that, sabotaging your pick.
Where there's a lot of teams that sabotaging to try and get that number one pick. And again, you don't know who the number one seed is
Correct.
gonna be. You're 100% correct.
So why do you
So
find out it's like some team he wanted to go to? He's like, oh shoot, let me play this tournament and go off.
yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. Like if that's what he's trying to do, I don't know. But I'm
And they
not
just went and
seeing it.
got waxed up by Cincinnati.
Yeah, I'm not
At
seeing it.
home.
I've never seen a kid score 23 points in a half, and then you go tell your coach I ain't playing the second half. That's all I'm saying. I've never seen that in my life.
Oh
Never.
man. He said, "Yeah,
ever.
I thought he was so. I thought he was. I mean, he could have had an incredible game. Well,
Yeah,
yeah,
coach
he could have
said.
had almost 50 points.
Coach was like, "Yeah, he was balling out." Then all of a sudden, they say he ain't playing the second half.
I'm talking to my sisters like, what y'all doing? Like, he need to play.
Damn that! I would have said, "Coach, this game. Come on, man. Come with me. Let's talk. What's up?"
What is going on? Low
Oh
Junior
man,
College.
I've
But
never seen.
what do you want him to do? What is Bill Self? What should he do? Should he fine him because he getting paid money? Take some of his money, like
I almost
what's
think.
his name?
I almost think they like Penny Hardaway does.
Penny Hardaway,
Almost,
no, but like Dion too.
yeah, Dion does it too. I almost think you have to. I actually think
Or if you
college
don't,
sport.
what if you don't? Okay, what if it's something like if you don't fulfill a certain amount of minutes or games without being injured, then you get a certain pay cut.
I think the fines has to happen in college sports. Because I actually think it's important, man. Like,
Because he's the first kid that didn't want to play. I ain't never seen
yeah,
other kids
yeah,
that didn't
I've
want to
never,
play.
but yeah, I mean, but at the same time, you got to understand, you're giving these kids millions of dollars up front as a 17, 18-year-old kid, 16
Trying
in
to not
some
get
cases,
hurt, trying to save
15 in
myself
some
money.
cases, right? So it's several things, right? They could be thinking they don't want to get hurt, but at the same time, they also could be thinking, I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, if because you're not recovering, people ain't recovering money, right?
Yep,
Like,
yep.
so it's like, I'll give you guys a little taste of what I can do, right?
So for
Uh,
what you paid me, I'm only good for the first half. Coach, you got to
like
come back with another couple mil. You
I'm
see me
just
play the
think
full game.
I'm just thinking about what the boosters are saying about this dude right now.
I'm telling you, that's what they're probably saying. Like, do we got to give him some more money to play the whole game? What's going
Like,
on here?
what the hell?
And his
Yeah.
manager's
Like,
probably like, "Yep, we need another couple of meals, and then you can see him play the whole 40 minutes." Watch,
oh man.
watch championship week. He in the whole game,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
next thing you know, he don't got cashed out before the championship week.
I just think it's crazy though, man. Like, cause now all of a sudden you as a coach in the back of your head, it's so hard to prep, not knowing your star players gonna play the first quarter or all four quarters or a half, and you're like, well,
Yeah,
yeah. But if I'm that dude backup, I'm even more mad because I'm showing up every day, working, grinding, and this
hey,
dude
you
get to
playing
do
a
what he
half?
wants to do. Yeah, and yeah, but he gets to do what he want to do. So I don't know. That's crazy, bro. Crazy to think
I
about
don't
that.
know who I don't know who I would pick right now, freshman of the year. But a big shout out to Acuff down there, balling
Mm,
out, drop 49. Um, it's going to be a great draft. It's going to be a great
most
draft. I think
consistent,
anywhere
man.
in the top 20, you're going to be good.
Most consistent is Boozer, bro.
On the girl side, real quick, I'm not going to talk about any girls games, but who you got as a rookie? I'm going to talk about two girls right now. I'm going to tell you who they are, and these are the top two girls they so far said that are
Hmm.
in play to win freshman of the year. Our own girl from Clackamas, Jazzy Davison, is in the running right now
Love
at
her.
USC. She is leading her team in scoring,
Hmm.
rebounding,
Hmm.
assists, steals, and blocks
Without
as a
Juju,
freshman.
without Juju.
Without Juju.
If she had Juju with her, they would be a top 5 team right now. If
Just,
she had
just,
Juju with her.
just think about it. Remember how we talked? I was like, man, she got to get a little stronger.
Yep,
Blah blah blah
she
blah.
did. She
Oh
did.
my
She got,
gosh.
but her body build now versus when you saw her last year
Yeah,
in the
yeah, yeah.
tournament, it's night and day.
And
Like
she is
I don't know.
teeing girls up.
I don't know who she went to and said, "Train me the right way,"
She
but
probably
they
trained up
did
with
it.
what's her name?
They did it, and I am damn proud to just
Yeah,
watch her play
balling
right
out.
now. Because yeah, no, she's awesome. I do think who was the second person
The second girl is
before I said
what's her name? Where's she at? Where's she at? Where's she at? Oh dang, I didn't have her name. Oh no. Michaela Blakes from
yeah,
Vanderbilt. She
yeah,
is leading the nation right now in scoring
yeah,
at 26
yeah,
and a half. And it's funny
yeah.
because you said if you have a girl that can score the ball,
Mhm.
she could probably take you to the championship. And right
Yep,
now, Vandy
yep,
is the highest rank they've had ever
yep,
right now.
yep. And Vandy also has some really good defenders, right? And that's what I'm saying. Like all you need is a girl that can put the ball in the hoop, and she could potentially get you there. Um, I think with USC, I don't think USC is playing really good this year, compared to what they were last year with Juju. So although Jazzy is having a phenomenal moment right now, and it's awesome to see, right? It's awesome for women's sports. I still think when I'm talking player of the year, or I'm talking freshman of the year or anything, I look at the holistic of the team.
Mhm.
Uh, but when I have to make that decision, right?
And how that
Um,
team got better with that particular
so
freshman.
if I'm a voter, right, that's what I'm looking at, right? I'm looking at where were you last year? You came in. What have you done to help this team improve or where they were? Juju's out. If Jazzy would have had that team in the top 10 with what she's doing, no doubt
Oh
about it,
yeah, easily.
right? Michaela has put Vandy on the map. Vandy hasn't been relevant in ACC women's
Well,
basketball.
they made the tournament last year for the first time in a
Yeah,
while.
but they weren't. What were they? A 13 of 12
14,
or 13
yeah,
seed?
yeah, yeah, something
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
And they got lost. No, they lost in the first round.
Yeah. So I actually think as much as I want to take the number one in defense, the number one in because I'm a defensive coach, I have to give it to the offense in this case
Hmm.
because all it took was Vandy to go and recruit one person that says she can put the ball in the hoop, right?
Yeah.
Because I know they had a lot of returners last year, and all of a sudden she is relevant in the SEC tournament. So understand that Vandy has to play LSU twice. They have to play
Hmm.
South Carolina twice. They have to play
Hmm.
Tennessee. Like the SEC is when it comes to women's basketball, it is insane. This is
Yeah,
where
it
I be
used to be the Pac-10
this
in
is
the
where I this
for
is where I
women.
wish that UConn women's would just be in the SEC because we would get the best basketball of the year when it comes down to women's basketball when you just watch the SEC. Like because UConn goes and play South Carolina, they
Yep,
goes and play LSU, they goes
yep,
and play Tennessee
yep.
every year. Those are non-negotiable games. And it's so good for sports because they
But
battle.
they can't do that because it hurts the Big East.
I get that,
That's
right?
the money. That's
But
the
at
draw
this
right
yeah,
there.
I get that. But it's also not good for them to win
It's not helping UConn.
90 to 25, 90 to 25, and
No, I
then
know.
all
I
of a
agree.
sudden you
I
run
agree.
up on one of those good teams in the tourney, and all of a sudden you're having to figure out a way because your starters haven't had to play more than a half, right?
No, I agree. But I mean,
Uh,
you can only play who you play.
yeah. But I do hope for the local perspective, I hope Jazzy get it. But Michaela's just dominant right now, Vero.
Nothing really else in the college basketball world. We'll talk more here as March hits up. NBA just got started back up after All Star. Nothing really hit a game, couple games since then. Anything you want to talk
Nah,
about the NBA?
the only thing in the NBA right now is the fights, man. I tell you, people got some high testosterone going right now. Whatever they got, they need to give me some of that because I need to shoot it for myself. I need that same energy.
Man,
But man,
it's not just the NBA. It's basketball, period.
like
And I
people,
just somebody said that, and I said it's bad attitudes and bad refing.
people
Like
are getting mad.
refs
Yeah, people are
refs
getting
aren't
mad.
taking control of certain situations or aren't calling the right calls in certain things when they should be making the right decisions. And if you mess up, go ahead, correct yourself,
But you
right?
know what?
Or don't keep escalating the stuff by building up and not trying to deter
Yeah,
at the beginning.
yeah. But you know what? College, high school, I understand because those officials are part-time officials. They don't do anything full-time. The NBA,
Okay.
I don't understand because that is your primary
Yeah.
job.
Yep.
Like all you get paid to do is watch basketball, ref basketball, learn basketball. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
therefore, the amount of mistakes that are being made in the NBA is insane. Which sometimes I be thinking, are they sabotaging the game? I hate to
That
say
too.
that,
That too.
but I do think that sometimes because I'm like, what the hell? When is this no longer a travel? Right? And then all of a sudden, one of my kids tried, and I'm like, can't do that. It's crazy to just think about. But yeah, I just think the the high ego, man. The number of fights and brawls and push, it's getting real, man. That's how you know it's getting close to March. That's how you know it's getting close to April.
Yeah.
Because now teams are starting to fight for what they want.
Yeah. This is the best time of the year for basketball by far. It's even better when you're a part of it, coaching. But it's good
Yeah.
to see, our fellow friends and coaches, teams, going to be
Oh,
moving on here in March.
you know what? I think it's absolutely awesome, right? Like as a coach who know I wasn't in
And
the
shout out
playoffs
to
this
our old
year.
team too, by the way. Number one.
Yeah. I think it's awesome seeing, your friends succeed, right? Like there's no doubt about it. That's why you have friends. You don't want anything um you don't want anything but exceptional, right? And I think, Drew at West Albany, big congrats in that 5A level. My guy Ed. Um at OES, major props to him that he actually has a program that don't do cuts.
Yep.
So,
That's
I
true.
think it's awesome what he's doing there. My guy Chad at Southridge. I'm sorry, Sunset.
Sunset. You say that.
Uh, yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. He's doing an awesome job there. Raheem at Sherwood. I love that guy to death. He's doing awesome. My JV2 coach at my previous school has set program number one, which is just absolutely phenomenal to see. Um, and then, I cannot go without talking about my guy HD, who's at the college level, and again, a team that won 3 or 4 games last year. He started the season out like 6-1 or 7-1, something like that. And like one thing about junior college basketball is hell, every year you got a new roster. So he was able to not only get that job late, but he put together a phenomenal roster. And I think, I got to give him shout outs as well. So um, definitely love what my circle of coaches are doing. I'm excited to watch all of them in the playoffs while I try and find a way to get myself together. I'm gonna watch a lot of playoff basketball this spring for sure.
Encouragement. Positive encouragement. Before we go,
Absolutely.
I'm gonna got one question. One question.
Yep. Yep.
It's actually a statement and a question altogether. Okay. A man in Thailand sold his testicles for $2.7 million.
I saw that.
First off, who in their right mind is buying testicles? A and B paying $2.7 million. Like, who is this dude that his balls are worth that much?
I don't know, but my shit's for sale. I ain't good.
Well, that was my question. Are you selling your testicles for 2.7?
Boy, them things out of me
What else?
yesterday.
What else would you sell, and for how much?
Well, I'm gonna stay quiet on that one. But if we just talking the testicles,
Uh,
and you talking about $2.7 million, I'm pretty sure my
2.7.
wife would be like, "Take them,
I right when I read that, I was like, you can take mine anyway. You know what?
man. I'll give you the right one for 1.3 and the left one for 1.3. That's 2.7, baby. Let's go.
You can
1.35 to be
replace them with
exact."
some fake ones. I'll be perfectly fine. They do the same thing.
Man, yeah, but no, I don't understand who needed a set of testicles for
And
three
why
million
his
dollars.
of all people? Like, did he just scour the earth, or whoever scoured was like,
I
you,
yeah,
you stay
I,
right there.
I do
Big
wonder
balls.
what his role
I need
was.
those. Like, what?
Yeah,
How, how did this come about?
yeah, I do wonder
Was
what
he a
what
doctor?
is.
He did the cough test.
I,
He was like, "Listen, I'm going to need these balls. Two point
I,
seven million. I got them
I,
for you."
shit, man. I'm I'm just sitting there thinking myself like, dang, 2.7 for
And
some testicles.
who just has that sitting around? Like, where is they doing an auction for them in another area? Like, I bought
Man,
these for 2.7. Now they're going for
man,
3.5.
I was about to say maybe he bought them for 2.7, and maybe there's something out of it. I don't know. They're like, can you get a testicle implants and then all
Is
of a
this the
sudden be able to
smartest
have
dude in the
kids?
world? So you're trying to
Like,
take his sperm and make kids? Like, what are we doing?
can you get a testicle implant and have kids at that point?
I don't know. Inquiry minds. But that's a
Mm.
great story. That's interesting. Thailand, by the way.
Of course, one of the cheapest places to live in the world, and that guy just became a gazillionaire in Thailand.
They just got money to throw away like that. I need to take a trip.
Man,
I go take a trip up
2.7.
there, come
I
back
guess
with no balls.
I guess I go buy me an elephant. Who you cutting, man? Who you cutting before we get out of here, bro?
Shoot. I thought I had somebody I was gonna cut. I swear I did.
You ain't got nobody you cutting?
I thought I did. I forgot. Nope, I ain't got nobody to cut tonight. So see, I'm in a good mood. I got to win, so I would have had some cuts, but I'm good. We got a dub. I'm happy right now.
You did get it done. I'm proud of you, man. I am proud.
Give me a
I'm
couple
def
more white hairs, but I'm okay.
Hey, I'm definitely cutting that AutoZone guy. I was
Yeah.
gonna cut somebody for load management, but first of all, you don't go out. Yeah. You shooting me. You double tap that guy. Tap, 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 tap. Yeah, I'm doing it again. Right? Double tap that guy. You don't go out in 0 degree weather and ask another dude to check your batteries. You're a grown ass man. Let's just
Well,
put it
first
that
of all,
way.
before you said that is you don't go out and have no other dude check your.
Yeah, you're a grown ass man, right? And I knew it wasn't gonna be a woman because a woman ain't gonna go outside in no 0 degree weather because they ain't crazy. So, bro, your ass need to be the man. And to the
oh,
dude that decided not to, good job, bro.
oh
You got
man.
hey, power to you, bro.
I was
You
waiting to
ain't
see if he,
doing
I
it.
was waiting to see if he got fired later on.
I wish they would have fired that dude. I would have started the
But he did
trend.
not.
Yeah,
He's
yeah. I wouldn't
apparently
fire
he's
him.
still there.
I bet the person
Otherwise,
was like,
otherwise, if he would have got fired, he'd have a GoFundMe.
I bet the person would have. I bet the person that looked at the case was like, well, what the hell was he doing there at 0 degree welder?
Getting a battery.
AutoZone should have just closed down that
They
day.
shouldn't even. There you go.
Get
They
us out
shouldn't
of here,
even been
man.
open. They shouldn't even have been open.
Hey, we want to thank y'all for listening tonight. Please subscribe and share.
Nope. Ain't working for me.
We out, guys. Hey, until next week.
What the
This
hell?
guy's always messing up our exit and our
No, I ain't.
intro. But I'm Big Mo. That's Platinum